Hello everyone and welcome to our project where we built a CRM system from scratch. So let's continue. Let's see what did we finish on. Today is September 14 and let's start our project. So let's go to the CRM. Let's also start the server, start the tailwind process, and start the bundle. Right, okay. We can hide the server. We don't usually need that much for now. So let's see how our application looks like. We can have our fields in some limited scope, not much implementation here for now. We can go to create a new field, my new field. We can set the text type, we can save it, and on save it's added to the list, and on clicking the delete we can delete it and it appears on the right side. Alright, so the next thing, let's see, let me maybe open my CRM system and let's see how it works in general. So basically the way it works, we can actually drag items, drag the fields to some places and drop them here. And we also can drag it around and change the order of the field. So that's a fun implementation. I would say it would be fun to do. Yeah, we can do that. Right? Drag around and drop it. Yeah, very nice. So how we do this? Let's see, drag and drop API. Drag and drop interfaces enable applications to use drag and drop features in browsers. Very nice. So we have our events, drag event, drag end, drag enter, drag leave, drag over, drag start, and drop. Neither drag start nor drag end events are fired when dragging a file in the browser from the OS. Okay. The basics. Identify what is draggable. Making an element draggable requires adding a draggable attribute and the drag start event handler as shown in the following code sample. So we say we have our element and we say draggable true, right? And then we add an event listener on drag start, which does something. Okay, so let's make unused fields draggable. Let's maybe first just render unused fields, just so we have some. Render unused fields initially, right? Because now we don't have any. So maybe we wanna have like fields unused and it will be the same type, and I can just move this guy here, right? Okay, so now this guy is empty and we have to render it on the right, and it's in the customize fields model on the right, in under the div header, probably over here we have to say like field of state fields unused, right? And the way to add it is just, oh, we probably already have a rendering, but it was probably on delete. Yeah, so on delete we have field unused and we add it to the right. So this is how you render unused field for now, right? So we probably have to do something similar, right? We probably have to do something similar. Basically, in this block, we have this code over here, right? So we want to reuse this code actually. So to reuse it, maybe let's pull it out over here somewhere. So basically, let's do like function div field unused. We can remove these guys and say field CRM field, and we create a div, set the value, set the inner text, and return it. Let's say render field unused, right? And then we just call it with the field like this and add it. Right? Function declarations are not allowed inside blocks in strict mode. Okay, that's fine. I can put it maybe over here, right? Yeah. So we render it now here, and let's render it over here as well. Of state fields unused, render field used field, and it's gonna be basically the same code as here. Let's see how it works. Yeah, so we have our field now, and it looks like the rendering on deletion is the same, so they look exactly the same, which is good. Now we are done with this guy. Let's make unused fields draggable. To do that, let's, inside of this function, let's maybe set draggable true. So whenever we say draggable true, now natively browser supports dragging the elements, which is nice. But with the next stuff, whenever we start dragging, we wanna highlight, right? We wanna highlight the drop zone that we can drop at and make it blue. And if we put it back, nothing changes. Yeah. If we put it back, nothing changes. That's fine. Yeah, so we want drop zone for the dragged field. And the drop zone will be on the left block, right? On the left block, where we have our field and delete icon, and probably over here, like we will have div drop zone, right? And we will add it to the parent. And how do we make it receive drop events? Drop effect. No, we don't need drop effect. We want to make the drop zone receive drag over events. Probably that's how you call it, drag over. Dragged item is being dragged over a valid drop target every few hundred milliseconds. Every few hundred milliseconds. I don't know, looks like... Do we need drag enter or drag over? Maybe we need drag enter. Let's see how they work. Drag over. In the drag over event handler for the target container, we call event prevent default, which enables it to receive drop events. Right? Oh, that's how you do it. So drag over event exists just to tell the browser that we are allowed to receive drop events. Okay, so basically we can say drag over, drop zone, drag over listener, prevent default, okay, and then let's maybe make it, add some style into this guy. Let's maybe do like this and see just how it looks like. See how it looks like. Oh, we want to add some fields, by the way. Yeah. Okay, so we have drag over zone. Just for the sake of having it, let's see if we can get a drop event. And if we have drag over event. Okay, So drag over works and drop works. Really nice, really nice. Okay, the next thing that we want to do, we want to actually change the drop zone background when the user is dragging a field over the drop zone. So initially we will maybe have it without background, right? And we have drag enter event is fired when the dragged element enters a valid drop target, right? Okay, when it enters, it changes the color, right? So whenever we have drag enter, we want to add background sky, for example. And when we have drag leave, we want to remove this class. Something like that. Yep. Yep. Let's remove these console logs. We don't need them. So we have this place. Let's maybe make some styling. Make style slicer for the drop zone. So we want to have like this style, slightly less blue, maybe like 300, and border sky 500. Oh, not that one. So border border 2, border dashed, yeah, let's have even less blue here. Yeah. We probably want to have 600 here and 200 here. Yeah, this is really nice. Yeah, I like it. Maybe 100. Yeah, this is nice. So let's put more fields in the state so we can see them nicely. Okay, so we have the area here, but it's too much spacing, right? too much spacing. And let's see, fix the spacing. So let's fix the spacing. Right. So let's say that we wanna show this guy all the time. And let's see what we have here. We have margin top on this guy. So maybe we wanna remove margin top actually. I don't know. Do we wanna remove margin top? If you remove margin top and if you remove these guys, we don't have enough spacing. So probably we wanna have margin top when we are not dragging. And then when we start dragging, you wanna remove it. So remove margins when we start dragging over. How do we do that? We have our margin top. What we could do is basically taking this guy and removing margin top here and adding it here. No, not fun at all. We actually wanna do it on the next one, not on this guy that's on the top, but on this one that's on the bottom. Maybe we wanna do like instead of margin top, we wanna do margin bottom. So, and we wanna have it also on the stage as well, and on this guy as well, right? Yeah. Right. And then we also want to have it hidden all the time. Have the drop zone hidden initially. So whenever it's rendered, it's hidden by default. Right? So we have our spacing fine, and then when we drag over, we want to remove the hidden class. So we want to remove the hidden class. Let's keep it in the beginning and like that. Nope, not working. Not working. So it's not receiving the drag enter event probably. Is it? No, it's not receiving. You see? You know what? Maybe we wanna have it visible all the time. but have a smallish height, like this one. So it has the smallish height, and then we can change the height to bigger one and remove the smaller one. Is it gonna work? Not really. Let's see. So we wanna, oh sorry, so we wanna remove the small one, and add the big one, and then remove the big one and add the small one, like this. And then maybe we wanna remove the margin at all, so we wanna do like this guy. Yeah, it's kind of fine, I guess. It looks fine to me. It's maybe not as intuitive, a little less polished, I would say. Well, it's fine, I guess. Yeah, we just need to have on the top as well. We'll do it later. But for these guys, let's maybe add some more fields. Yeah, it's kind of okay. I like it. It's easy. And the code is actually easy. Like people use like a lot of libraries. Like you need a library to do that. And for us, it's like this is the whole implementation. That's it. And like, why do you need a 100 kilobytes library for drag and drop? I don't know. Okay. So we have it done. We fixed the spacing. Then on drop, we want to render the field in the left side, on the left side, right? So on the drop, we want to say render field. So my super text field drop. Oh, this is not the one. This is not the one. Oh, of course, yeah. So basically, on the left side we have this guy, and sorry, on the right side we have this guy, render field unused, so it's draggable. So we wanna save the reference to this guy, like field unused draggable being dragged, CRM field or undefined, right? And whenever we start dragging, drag, how do you call it? drag start. We say field unused being dragged equals field and on drag and we say undefined, right? And then we drop this field here. So we let's log, by the way. We drag, we set the field, we drop undefined. We drag, we drop undefined, and render my super text field. Yeah, that's correct. So this is fine, right? So we want to render this guy. How do you do that? So for now, our rendering is basically all this code. So maybe let's extract it to like someplace like over here, function render field used. Yeah, so we have like fields unused over here and fields used over here. I don't know, maybe we will keep it similarly like where we have this function just to have them near each other because they are really similar. Yeah. So now we just wanna move this code over here and then format a little bit, have the field as a parameter, and then yeah, render field used field, and as a result we wanna receive stuff that we can append. Well, let's say elements field used, and then it will have like div field container and div drop zone. Right? So we will have like elements equals div field container and div drop zone and return this guy. Right? So we return them, we append them, we are good to go. Okay, so our rendering works, which is great. Now we wanna repeat this rendering on drop. Render field used, field unused being dragged. If it's not undefined. Is it working? No, it's not. Let's see. Oh, of course, yeah, because I don't actually have to execute all of this stuff. Yeah. And because I don't have the reference to the left container of the fields, I cannot invoke it here. So it would be good to actually just maybe pass it here, the container element container, right? And whatever container is, I just append to it. Right? Come on. Yeah. So div left, right? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, we can render this guy. We can render it forever. And then we want to put it actually in some specific place. In some specific place, basically. So render the newly dropped field in a specific place in the container. How do we do that? I probably know which drop zone I dropped at. So maybe I can see which one it is. So let's see. Yeah, so we have the reference to the exact element that we are dropping at. So maybe we can actually render after that. So instead of rendering in the container, we can, yeah, we can actually ignore this guy. We can like take this drop zone, and after this drop zone we can put these guys like this. So whenever we drop after that, we will render our field. Let's see. Yeah, we just don't hide this guy, but the rendering is correct. That's cool. That's actually cool. So, right? Yeah, that's very nice. Hide the drop zone, drop event. So on drop event, we wanna remove all these classes and transition the drop zone to the hidden situation, like that, right? So we can now put at the place that we want to put, right? That's very nice. But you know what? For some reason this starts becoming smaller and smaller. Why is that? Oh my god. Oh, it's because probably our container is losing the height. Like we're occupying the entire height of the container. So we probably gonna have like overflow y scroll, not scroll. Wait a minute. Not scroll. Like this. Yeah. And maybe scroll as well because tailwind didn't generate it. So let's try to fix the container height being occupied, and there is no room for dropping new elements. So we have our stuff, we have our model container, and we have our div content, which has div left. This guy can have overflow y scroll, I guess. No, not working. Not working at all. So do I have to change this to fit anyway? Right? Fit. And then probably this guy fit as well. Nope. Overflow y scroll. Yeah, maybe like that. Yeah, so I have to put fit height on the inner guy fit, and then on the outer guy overflow y scroll, and that way it will work properly. You see, like we still have the space. Right? Yeah. Okay. What do we want to do next? The next stuff that we want to do is actually fix delete. For some reason it's not working anymore. I is not defined. Splice. So I broke delete icon. Oh. Yeah, when I was extracting the function, I did not extract the index stuff. So what I would probably want here when removing the field from the state, I would probably want to remove it not by index, but just like, yeah, by index it would be faster to remove, but I don't care for now. Like, most probably we will not have 1,000 fields. Most probably it will be like 10. So I can just iterate and compare by the label. So let's do that. Maybe, you know, like that. then we don't have the reference to this guy as well. So what do we do with the reference? We have our functions, but we don't have the references. Can we keep our functions closer to these guys, or we must have them here? I don't know, let's see. Let's see. Oh, because inside the block I cannot have a function. That's crazy stupid. Why? Why I cannot have a function inside the block? Doesn't make sense to me. Like, this is stupid. Function declarations are not allowed inside blocks. So this guy is suggesting to save the function to a variable, which also I don't like. I don't like this. So should I have it like that? What happens? What just changed? So do I do it like this? And it works? And it doesn't fail? Okay. Can I do the same for this guy? Yep. Seems to work for me. Okay, probably this is now working, right? So I have my references working, everything is fine, and the deletion works now, which is amazing. Oh, you know what? We don't delete the drop zone. Yeah, so delete the drop zone when deleting the field. Right, so whenever we render field used, we render actually two elements. When we remove, we only remove one element, which is not good. We want to remove everything. Like that. Yeah, Now it's fine. Now we just need to have another drop zone under the stage field, which brings us to reusing the render the stage field similarly to regular field and reuse the code there to have the proper drop zone as well. Right, so we have on the left side we have our stage field, which looks like this. And is it different in terms of classes? Like, is there a difference here? Like, oh, it is. So it is different because this guy has deletion button and this one does not, which is fine, right? And in terms of classes, we have width, height, feet, padding, borders. So basically everything is the same, I guess. So I would say it's safe to say that render field used, and the field will be label stage, is mandatory true, type text, and what else? And that's it, right? Yeah. And then we will just append it over here as a field container and drop zone. So now we have the drop zone, which is great, but we also want to hide the delete button. Hide the delete button for the stage field, because we don't want to delete the stage, because it's always required. So that's why. And to do that, we want to just hide it. That's probably the simplest way. Delete button hidden boolean. So over here we have the class, and we say like delete button hidden true, then hidden, otherwise empty string, right? And then true, basically. Now we don't have the delete button, and all is nice. Why do we have it selected, the text? That's weird. So we can drop it on the right side as well, which is fine. In begin it's the same. You can drop it wherever you want. Yeah. Okay. very nice, very nice. And if it's required, the field is required, my second and third field, my super text field is required, for example. Yeah, all good. So now we wanna delete the field on the right side when we drop it on the left side. Right, so whenever we drop it here, we want to delete it on the right side. And where is our field? So first of all, when we drop it, we have to not only render this guy, but also add it to the list of in the state, right? Let's just print the state here to see what is going on. So when we drop this guy, we want it to be in the state of the used fields. Let's see. Fields. We only have 3, right? Well, we should have 4 at least. That's another problem. So we want to add it, right? So state fields push, maybe not push, maybe we wanna append it after the field. So let's say apply to state for state equals 0 and fields if here. So we wanna insert. How do you insert it? Splice, I guess. Start at I, delete 0, and add a field like that, right? And then break. And we also wanna insert it. The flag, insert the true, then assert that inserted is true. Must have inserted into the state after the currently rendered field. So now we wanna see if we inserted it. Right? So we inserted it, but we actually inserted it before, not after. Yeah, we should have inserted it. For example, if I drop it at the end, should have it at the end, but we have it just before that. So we should insert like I plus 1, right? So now we have it at the end, and we also can have it as a second, I guess. My field is the first, but it should be the second. Yeah, that's another problem. Okay. So if I insert it here, it says must have inserted. That's because we don't have the stage in the array, right? Right. So we should have a stage field, actually. We can just we just can have it as a regular field, basically. Like we can just copy this guy and put it in the state as a field, as a regular field, right? Yeah. You know what? It's actually, we should not render a delete icon for any mandatory field, not just for the stage, right? Because that's what the begin does as well. If the field is mandatory, it doesn't render the delete icon. If field is not mandatory, it does render the delete icon. That's what we should do as well. So stage field is not some specific field, it's just like that, very simple. So this stuff is not specific to stage. Yeah, it's like field is mandatory, true, hidden. Yeah, now we have delete icon only on the optional fields, which is cool. Then if we put the field, we have it in the right spot. Yeah, that's nice. Very nice. Okay, cool. So we fixed the field state on the drop. Now we still wanna finish with deleting the field on the right side and in the state as well when we drop it. So by the way, should we have it also in the inner block, right over here? Yeah, so we don't spam our outer scope with variables that we don't use in the outer scope. Yeah. So now when we drop this guy, we push it to the used fields, and we also insert into used fields, and we wanna actually remove from unused fields. And here we wanna say like something like removed splice I1 assert removed true must have removed from the unused field state. Right, and then let's see, so we remove this guy. Okay, so we did not remove. Oh, you know what? Yeah, because this is the one that we are looking for. Yeah. Fields unused, empty array. That's fine. That's what we were looking for. So the next stuff is actually removing so this is render used field like that, and then render remove unused field. And here we do like field unused be dragged. Oh, we don't have element, so let's maybe like whenever we initialize this guy, we wanna also save the div itself, basically. We wanna say element field unused being dragged. Yeah, it's like HTML element or undefined. Yeah, and then we just div field unused, undefined. Maybe we wanna keep them in one container, like field unused. I don't know. Let's just forget about it. Let's just keep it simple. So we save this guy and then so here we say element field unused being dragged, remove if it's not undefined, of course, and then equals undefined. find, and here and the find as well. Maybe like this. So we remove it and we have it here. Remove, we have it here, we put it back. Oh, must have removed from the unused field state. That's because, let's see, icon, delete icon. So we don't add to the state itself. We removed from the state. So let's do the same stuff. Apply to state. Remove from the unused and add from the used fields, add to the unused fields. Right. We should just have it like place 0, 1. No, 0, 0 field. Like that. Must have removed. Let's see what is going on here. Let's log state here and then let's log state over here as well. So whenever we remove, we should have 2 fields on the right, and we should just have 1. So it's not working. How do you, for example, I have array A and B, and I want to splice 0, 0, C. Oh, no, not like that. Let's say I have array, right? And then I want to splice the array. Yeah, I should have it inserted. Why it's not? State fields. Oh, fields unused. Sorry for that. Yeah. Now it's correct. So remove. Let's log the state. So remove the field. We have 3 fields on the left, which is used. Fields on the right, which is unused. 2 of them. If we move the field to the left, we have 1 unused, and another one, we have 0 unused. We have 5 fields on the left, then we remove this guy. We have 4 on the left, 1 on the right. Very nice. Let's maybe rename it a little bit better. So I want to say fields used and fields unused, not just fields, because it's ambiguous. So whenever we say state fields, I want to say fields used. Right. Is it working? It's working. Yeah. Super duper cool. Now let's remove these guys, or make them maybe optional, so I could remove them. This is not optional. Yeah, so I can remove everything. I cannot remove this guy, and I can drop new fields whatever I want, and I can remove them as well. Cool. And also maybe, because I cannot move this guy, so let's maybe not make the cursor with cursor move. We have it over here. So if it's stage, I would say it's only for stage, right? This is the only field that is not moved. So I will just hard code it for now. We will see how it goes. So class cursor equals like field label stage, then it's empty, otherwise it's moved. So maybe we will have this as a constant, label field stage, and then label field stage equals stage, right? Yeah. So now we have regular cursor here and move cursor over here. The next stuff that we want to do is move these guys also, because we want to reorder the fields between each other, like here. We want to do that. So let's maybe do it on the next video, because this one is already long. Let's just commit stuff. So what did we do today? We have our fields. We made the model work for any amount of fields. We also can now render used and unused fields and move between those places by dragging fields around, right? So basically I would say drag and drop the fields. That's what we did today. Maybe let's commit everything else. Yeah. So thanks everyone for being together with me, and enjoy the rest of your day.